Shalom Aleichem. Welcome to my channel. I'm Rabbi Dr. Oluwafemi. Today I'll be teaching on the article. That's from the Biblical Hebrew perspective. The article can be seen as a very important topic in Biblical Hebrew. And I like to also know that the article from the Biblical Hebrew perspective is a little bit different from what we have in English alphabet. For instance, the first thing to note about the Biblical Hebrew article is that there is no indefinite article. No indefinite article. So the question now is, how do we now know, or how do we signify the indefiniteness of a word? Very simple. In Hebrew, let's have a word like Shem. Shem. Shem means name in Hebrew. Now, when a word is written this way without the symbol of the article, because in Biblical Hebrew we have a particular symbol for the article, and that shows the definiteness of a word. Now, when the word is written without the symbol of the article in Biblical Hebrew, then it will be translated with an indefinite article. For instance, this is Shem and it means name. Now, when you have to translate it, it means a name. So any word without the symbol of the article in Biblical Hebrew is seen as an indefinite, as in having an indefinite article. So that's one thing to note about that. Now, let's have the symbol of the article. Now, this is the symbol of the article. This is the symbol. It's the combination of he and pata, which is the small small vowel ha. So it means ha. Now, this article, this is the transliteration. Then the translation now is the. So it's the. So that's the symbol of the article, and it shows the definiteness of a word. Okay. The third thing to understand about the article in Biblical Hebrew is that when introduced, it is always prefixed to a word. In other words, unlike the English article where we have the day, the symbol of the article stands alone, while this one also stands alone. That's the word. In Biblical Hebrew, the symbol of the article is being prefixed to the word is defining. For instance, the day in Biblical Hebrew will be written this way. Day is Yom. Yom. This day in Biblical Hebrew. Now, when you have to introduce the definite, that is the article, it becomes Ha Yom. Ayom. Now, this is the way it is said. We'll talk about this in the next point. Now, the symbol of the article in Biblical Hebrew does not stand alone. It's always attached to the word. And one of the things to note about the Biblical Hebrew article is that the article either determines or limits a word. So when it's being prefixed to a word, it's either determines or limits that word. So let's check the third point. Let's check the third point. So when the article is being introduced to a word, it adds Dage forte to the receiving word. In other words, when this symbol is being introduced to the word in Biblical Hebrew, it adds a dot to the first letter of the word is being prefixed, and that Dage forte, I've said, addings and doubles that letter. Now I'm going to show you now. For instance, we have we have shalom. We have shalom. Now when we introduce the article now, there's a dot that we introduce here. There's a dot here which is Dage forte. And what does it do? It doubles the letter. So this is shalom. So note that there's a dot here, that's the Dage forte. And what does it do? It doubles this letter. So when you are to transliterate now, it becomes shalom, which means the peace. So that's one thing to note about the article in Biblical Hebrew. So once introduced to a word or prefixed to a word, it introduces a dot which is Dage forte at the bosom of the first letter of the word. So, and that doubles the letter. Okay. Now let's see the way you write the article, how it is being written, because the article, that the symbol has the tendency of changing when it's being prefixed to a word. So let's see now. This is the article. So when it's before begat kefat letters. Begat kefat letters. When it's before begat kefat letters, those letters that allow for a dagesh in their bosom. For instance, this the begat kefat letters. Let me try to show now how to understand this. For instance, we have bait. We have bait here. We have gimel. We have dalet. We have pay. And we have top. So that this top. Okay. So that's the combination of the begat kefat letters. So then we have calf. Excuse me. So there are 6 in number. We have Beit, Gimel, Dalet, Kaf, Pei, and Tor. Okay. Now, having noted this, when you see, let's just pick one out of this and see. So once this, the symbol of the article is being introduced to any word that begins with any of these letters, then it will be written this way, because this allows for a Dage for T. Now, for instance, I'm going to show you now as we check. Let's take, my name. My name means waters. Alright, so when we introduce the water, when we introduce the article to this word, then there will be a Dage for T here, which doubles this word. So then it becomes, so it becomes the water. And when you have to transliterate, this mem will be translated twice, because these are doubled it. So once the article is prefixed to a word, the begat preferred letters that allows for a Dage at the apostle, then it retains its original posture. So it will be written this way. That's one way of writing the article. So let's see when it's been attached to the gutturals now. The gutturals, and when you check my video on the gutturals, there are letters that don't allow for a Dage in the apostle. So except for exceptional cases. Okay, now when this letter is this is the original symbol. Now when it's before the gutturals, for instance, not all the gutturals now, when before the gutturals, such as Aleph, Resh, Ayin, these 3. When it's before, when this the articles before these 3, then it will be written this way. For instance, let's have this word means this word half, and half means father. Half. Alright, so when we introduce the article, then initially you should automatically allow for and send a Dage here, but this Aleph doesn't allow for a Dage. So this will send it back to the article. Then it's now lengthens the vowel under it. So in other words, when the article is being attached to a word that begins with Aleph, Resh, or Ayin, then the vowel under it will change and becomes, instead of the short vowel Ha, it will become long vowel Ha, which is Kamet. Alright, so this word will become the father. Half, the father. And this Aleph will not be doubled because it does not allow for a Dage 14. So that's another way of writing the Biblical Hebrew article when it's been attached to a word that begins with Aleph, Resh, or Ayin. Okay? Now let's see the third thing. When it's being attached to gutturals like E and Het. E and Het, it has another form, and the form is this. For instance, we have a word like